Hello, this is Nina Robert, and this is episode 5 of the Success Catalyst podcast. Today, my guest is the founder of Unlimited Power Consulting. Lis Karin believes true change starts within. Her journey from self-doubt to life mastery showcases the power of setting and achieving big goals. She emphasizes that our energetic state shapes our experience, and she advocates that the only limits are those we set ourselves. I have the great pleasure of inviting Lis Karin today. Hello, Lis, how are you?
Hello, Nina. I am good, and thank you so much for inviting me to this
My
podcast.
pleasure. So, my first question is, how did you end up doing what you're doing?
Yeah, my background is in mental health as a nurse and also in managing. But I have also felt not like myself, have had very negative self-image in whole my life. So the, not it has had nothing to do with the circumstances. I have felt not enough, or always a very negative picture of who I am. And then I came in contact with my first mentor, Bob Proctor. It's 4 or 5 years maybe now ago. And I start to understand about our mind, because that's not nothing we work with as a mental health nurse. We don't speak about the mind. Uh, and when I understood the mind and understood our subconscious program, that my self-image was not me, it was not the truth about me, it was a pattern I thought my thoughts was going according to, and I saw everything from that negative picture of myself. I start to create a new me. so
Wow.
that's what I did. I jumped on the program that Bob Proctor have, uh, and I went through that program as a client for 6 months, and that changed my life so much. So after a while, I just wanted to invest to become a consultant for Bob Proctor, so I could use this program and work with people in this amazing program. So that's how I came to where I am today. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. So basically, you've been coached by Bob Proctor through this program that shifted your mindset and therefore shifted your life results. And you figured that this could be used for other people as well. And now you're helping people do the same thing that you did.
Yes, absolutely. And I have such a strong belief that there are no limits. Everything shows it if we start to think that there are no limits for us. Than the limits we put on ourselves in our mind, that we think about ourselves. Because we become who we think about, and the life becomes as a mirror of what we have in our mind.
That's very interesting, but I guess most people think they think, but they're not. What can you say about this?
Yeah, I was thinking now, because Bob Proctor is saying some percent, it's a very small percent that really think. A
Uh-huh.
lot of people think they think, and many people rather die than think.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
there are just a small amount of people, very few people that really think. And that means that we don't just take in what media say, what other people say, because we take in so much and believe this is true, this is true. But when we start to think, we can see there are nothing that says that that is true, that we have believed before.
So we have to be intentional in what we think about, and we don't just absorb whatever that is surrounding us, because usually we are surrounded by negative things, let's face it. So most people get involved with these things, with these people telling them what they should or shouldn't do, with social media, with bad news all over the world, and we get involved with them if we're not really thinking in terms of awareness and goal-oriented thinking, if you will. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I agree. And a goal, it's so important that few people have a goal, have a defined goal. And if they have a goal, it's just this a very low goal that we believe we know how we can reach it. And Napoleon Hill, that has written the book Think and Grow Rich, he say in another book that if we don't have a goal, so we know what we should focus on, our thought drift. We drift with our thought, and we automatically go to negative things. We have to have a target for our thinking.
Wow. Yeah. So we have to be intentional and we have to set up a goal. And as you said, low goals, with low goals, there's no room for growth. So what would define a good goal?
A good goal, it's a goal that comes from the desire you have in your heart or
Okay.
inside of you, a goal that makes you fire up, that makes you really, really want to this goal, that you feel with the whole body, with your whole being, that I want to go there. That's a good goal.
So it's like an idea I've fallen in love with. I get emotionally involved with, and I keep thinking about it day and night, and I will do my best to go there to that picture, that vision I want for myself. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And it's much more easy to reach a high goal
Uh-huh.
that you don't know how to get to, but you desire it, than to reach a goal you know how you can get, but it's not a goal that gives you this, that you really desire. Because then you have to work in your own strength. You have not that that you have not that power in you. You rely only on your own strength to get there, and it's not a fun. You don't desire it actually, but a big goal you desire. Other powers come in. You rely on something that is higher than you yourself, and you connect with the source,
Okay.
the spirit, and you use your what should I say? You must go in faith, because you don't know in your own strength how to get there. So you have to turn to something bigger than you, to listen to your intention, to your intuition. That will take you to this goal in an effortless way.
Absolutely. I believe that belief is one of the most crucial components to goal achievement, because if you don't believe you can do it, you'll not be able to do your best, and your best keeps improving with the growth that you're doing, and the more you do, the more you grow, and the better you can do. So belief is crucial, because we tend to take ourselves for granted. We tend to think that other people can do the things, but we cannot, so we don't have enough belief. So that also comes with the lack of awareness. And I know that awareness is one of your areas of expertise. So how do you think awareness is important in different aspects of life?
Oh, it's so important. Everything is according to the consciousness
Hmm.
we have of things. The subconscious mind is one and the same. It's only one mind, but we are defined with our body. So we are two different entities, you and I, Nina, and every person. But the spirit is one, and my world is according to my consciousness, my awareness of what is. So that's why I used to say, Bob Proctor said, I know you, Nina, say, we have everything. Everything is already. So how I define myself, it depends on my awareness. I can say I am poor. I have not enough of things.
Hmm.
And that's true then, because I can't have more than I am aware of.
Yeah.
This is so hard to explain sometimes, but it's all about our awareness. And that's why it is so important that we, when we have defined our goal, our heart's desire, we start to live in the feeling of that desire fulfilled, that goal fulfilled already. We feel as the person we are when we are in that life, that high life that we desire. Because then our awareness grow and we start to realize it. And when we do, it starts to take form in our physical life.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so again, the one we are and we define ourselves as is the life we have.
Wow.
So we can never have another life than we are, because if we are I see if I say it right, but if you are a tree, I saw a picture of myself. The branches are what we, our awareness. It can't be other than the tree are. The branches can't be other than where it comes from. So you can never get another life than you believe you are. I know Bob Proctor wrote somewhere about a very successful person. A journalist had asked that person, can you tell me when in your life you start to see yourself as successful? And this man answered, I was successful already when I slept on park benches. So he had that picture. He was that person. We must always be before we have.
That's wonderful. That's beautifully said. We have to be before we have.
Yeah.
You can never become more than what you think you can become.
Yeah.
So it all starts with your belief in yourself. Lis, you also mentioned that you are a soulful strategist. So who do you work with, and when do you think we need the soulful strategist?
Oh, I find that word, that title, I was looking for a title and I asked actually ChatGPT. I used to ask ChatGPT sometimes things, and then I got this title among other titles. And I love it because soulful, it means I work from my heart. I work heartful, how do you say, with love to people, to my clients, and also strategically, because I work in this program we are speaking about step by step toward my client's goal. And it's an inner work which gives outer results, and it's very strategically. So it's knowledge. It's, we need faith. Faith is important. It's a chemistry of our mind. But faith without understanding, without knowledge, is a blind faith. So it's nothing to hold on if it's in challenges. We have to know what we have faith in. And faith, it's such a strong power. I said to someone sometimes, I have faith. Yeah, but you have to take action. But faith without action is dead. The Bible says about faith, faith without action is dead. And, our body is the instrument of our mind. So we can't have faith in our mind without taking action. It leads to action. So our body is, how do you say it? Our mind is the master of the body.
Okay.
So we always do what our mind has in it. So we can't say that I believe and I have faith and then we don't do anything.
We might think that we have faith on a conscious level. The idea seems relevant and credible to us, but we still don't act on it. So it's not real faith until and unless we start acting as if. And that reminds me of a beautiful word that is praxis, that is the correlation or the relationship between your beliefs and your behavior. So if you think you believe something, to make sure, look at your results, look at your behavior. It will tell you if you actually believe it or not.
Yeah, that's so true. But that I've been 20 years in my search for the truth. in my life. I had been in a monastery for a couple of months in Germany, and I have been with all of me into the church. I am not, it's not in my, I was not, we had no religious or church when I grew up. So I came totally from the outside and jumped into the church and thought, this is the answer on my questions. But I saw it wasn't. It was only people that tried to be righteous. I mean, to feel peace, to feel human, as we to search for the truth with outer forms. Understand? We do a lot of things, and we say, don't do that, have these clothes and do that, and but it's just on the outside. And what would you? Yes, that's why I took up this. It's because I know the Bible. I have started to write. I read the Bible from start to finish over and over again. So and I see it as such it's a treasure for me today, because I understand now, as the old scholars and the old wise people like Thomas Troward, Neville Goddard, and so on, they quote the Bible because the Bible, if we read it as the universe language to us, and I believe it's also with the Quran or the other holy scriptures from other religion. I haven't read them, but the Bible I can. So it pops up things, stories, Bible verses to me all the time, and it's amazing. And I was thinking about faith, that Moses, the Israeli were captured in Egypt, and God told Moses, take the Israeli people out from Egypt to free them. And he said, but I can't speak. I am not a speaker. But you have your brother, Aaron, he is a speaker. So they were team working. So Aaron was the one that spoke to Pharaoh, and, they got freed. But Moses had, in the whole time, he has to have faith to do this. And he did. And by faith, like Mahatma Gandhi, they were so peaceful and calm and didn't look much for the world, but they got the people with them because they had the faith and they were connected with the source. And then in the desert, how the Israelis were complaining to Moses. Why did you take us out in this desert? It would have been better we have stayed in Egypt, We have no water, we have no food, we have no, and God, the universe, made wonders all the time. He sent manna, he opened the Dead Sea, the Red Sea, the Dead Sea, I think. So they went through, and he gave them all the time. But as soon as they have got something, after a while, they start to complain again. So I thought Moses really had to have big faith to lead these people, So faith can take a mountain and put it into the sea, it says in the Bible. So faith is such a power.
Wow.
Yeah, I just had to say it because it's so...
There are some gold nuggets in there. I really love that.
Yeah, it really is.
So with this amount of experience that you have, what do you think you would have done differently if you could go back in time to the beginning of your journey with this amount of experience?
Oh, I would have grown much faster, I believe, because our awareness grew every day because I love to study. And this material and this had given me so much. I have no problem to discipline myself to study every day. I study every day. I study every day. Both this program and other authors that are in a line with this. So today my awareness is much bigger. So if I have had that from start, my faith had grown faster also. So everything. But I also know that we can't think if only I have known this before, or if if only sometimes I can think, why should I be awakened so late in life? I mean, I am 62 this summer, and yeah, it was 58 maybe or something. Why all these years? But I also know that that experience is meant to be. I mean, we can never think in that way that, oh, I should have known this before, but everything has its time. And
Absolutely.
to rest in that, that, yeah.
That's very wise. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, we tend to want to grow too fast and achieve goals overnight. But if we do so, it's like playing a video game. I love the analogy of playing a video game that is too easy and you have everything that is already open to you and you have all the weapons and the treasures and you've killed all the monsters. It's not fun anymore. Why do we even bother, right?
No, exactly. And yeah, it's an amazing journey. So sometimes I can forget my goal, forget my goal because I love the journey. I
Yeah.
embrace the journey so much because when we have to understand who we are, our being as human, and we have to understand the universal laws. So we understand because the laws, everything is upheld by the laws, the universal laws, and we have to live in alignment with the laws, because otherwise we can't get the success, we can't get the progress. So it's when people go against the universal laws that disaster happen.
Things just fall apart. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
the laws is for good. It's not to forbid us for things. It's to uphold everything in a specific order, in harmony.
I believe that too, that everything happens by law. And if we stay focused and aligned with the laws of the universe, everything will come to us quite easily and quite fast. On the contrary, if we try to force things, if we don't know what we want, but we try to do everything and anything just because everyone else is doing it, or if we tend to set up the wrong goal or not enjoy the journey and have fun, things will not go as planned because that's not the purpose. The purpose, I believe, is always for growth. And that reminds me of what Thomas Troward says in his essay about the universe, that is, the universe is always for expansion and fuller expression. This
Yeah,
is something I live by.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. And if for you that listen and wonder what is the laws, some of them we are learning in school, like the law of gravity, for
mhm.
example. So I can't say I have faith and then jump out from the second floor and believe that I don't become hurt, because that's against the law.
Yeah.
And one law is the perpetual transmutation of energy. And
Mhm.
we are energy. Like Einstein said, everything is energy. There are nothing else than energy. And depends on which vibration the energy is on, it becomes different matters
Right.
that we see. So today I was walking and we have this yellow, I can't the name in Latin, but it's yellow flowers on every field outside. I live in the countryside. And I was thinking, oh, so many different frequencies of vibration there are here. There are flowers and there are grass and there are. So, and it's in that field where all frequencies are of energy. It's where everything happens. So, and then we see it in the
I
yeah,
guess
physical world.
I guess this is what differentiates an expert on awareness from anybody else, because when you start seeing things as frequencies, as energy, you have more control. You can choose what frequency you want to be in. You can choose what mood you want to be in. And you know that you have the ability, the power to control and to change your frequency. And if you are on the right frequency, if you're aligned with the laws of the universe, then you can have everything you want quite easily. What do you think is the main mistake that your clients have been making, or that you've seen people making, that we can avoid?
Yeah, I see. When this we are talking about now, the awareness and the understanding, I think it's Neville Goddard that say that Christ, that the Bible speak about Christ, it was not a physical person it's a picture of, it's our imagination.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Christ is our savior, we know that. So
Yeah.
our savior is our imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But we as human, we want so much do things on the outside of us to make things better. And
Yeah.
so did I. And sometimes still
Yeah.
we try to, and also my clients. But when they understand this, when they understand, wow, yes, that
Mm-hmm.
go inside, imagine, be in your goal already, see in the morning what, live by intention every day, start the day and see if you might work as in a sale, for example,
Mm-hmm.
see that sales call you will do and see the outcome of it as already it is already finished. It is as you wanted it to be, and hold that picture. And that is the difference between working hard and to believe that we have to work harder and harder to get what we want. That is not true. We
Yeah.
have to hold the picture in our mind of our outcome of the goal already fulfilled.
Wow. That's beautifully said. I believe we make this mistake because we are wired to do this. We have been always taught that you have to work hard, that you have to focus on doing things the right way. You have to follow what everyone else is doing. You have to set up the right goals that other people are okay with. You have to satisfy everyone else's point of view. But we tend to forget that we actually have the power to set up whatever goal we want, and we actually have the power to make things work to for us in an easy way, in an effortless way. So thank you for the reminder. Um, who do you think is in most need of setting up a goal? Is this for everyone, or is this just for entrepreneurs and people in business?
It is for everyone.
Right.
We have it. And I know when I started this journey with this material and I understood this about the goal, it was so hard for me to use my imagination and define what I really want.
Yeah.
Because we have this subconscious program, as you were talking about, Nina. We are so wired in the wrong thinking.
Yeah.
We can't think in that, we can't think that high thoughts about what we really want. And we have also heard from school, from parents, and so stop fantasize. That's only fantasize.
Yeah.
Like that is nothing to take serious of. And our imagination, our fantasy, is our creative factor, and everything that is starts in the imagination.
That's right.
So it's a
And
training, and start to just leave every old logic and this grown up thinking that you can't imagine, you can't fantasize. You
you
feel a
know,
little bit like a
after
fraud.
I came across this material and I started setting up goals and telling everyone around me, like asking everyone around me, do you have a goal? What's your goal? What's your purpose? And they were looking at me like, oh, I don't know, maybe a promotion, maybe the next vacation, maybe getting the house of my dreams. And they were just like picking goals from whatever collection or catalog of goals that are agreed on, that are trendy and that everyone else was doing. And nobody was asking the question, what do I really want? And I found that super interesting because, again, we were wired not to ask this question. We were wired to be content. I remember I was told in my childhood to be content, and I believe almost everyone else was told so, that be happy with what you have and don't ask for more. I believe we have to be grateful for what we have, but we should never be content, because content means that we are staying where we are.
Mm.
We're not looking for better, and we're not doing any better. If we stay where we are, there's no growth, there's no achievement, there's no fulfillment, and there's no reward.
No, and exactly. And my goal made me become healed from my traumas, youth traumas, because what we focus on grows in our lives. So I don't believe, you have to excuse me if you believe something else, but I don't believe to focus on our pain, on our traumas,
Yeah.
and get rid of them. I mean, be freed from them.
Mm-hmm.
They just grow. So two things. One is a goal, to focus on something else.
Mm-hmm.
That is my life. Visualize your goal, not stay in your past traumas.
I guess it's easier to stay in the past traumas because it's easier to play the victim, to blame someone else instead of processing the emotion, and then just get over it and decide what you want and go towards the light.
Yeah, because exactly so. We have to take responsibility over our lives. It's just
Yeah.
my life is my responsibility. I can't blame anything and anyone. And I had um, my mother. That was very complicated. I am adopted. I was first left away, but then my adoptive, what do you say? Adoptive mother. She
Yeah.
is a narcissist, and that's another story. I won't take it today, but I was what do you say? Bitter, not bitter. What is the name of it? You know, I woke up at nights and just felt I could puke, and
Uh-huh.
I was so I had
Uh-huh.
resentment.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So when I started, she's still alive. My father died 2 years ago, but mother is still alive, and I really I have forgotten her everything. Not to her, but
Mhm.
in my heart. So every time these thoughts that came up into me from a consentment state or from a victim state, I
Mhm.
just turned them around. I just cut them and just sent love. I sent love to mother. I forgive her. I send love. And that I did repeatedly. And I also focused on my goal.
Yeah.
That made me heal from that was a big part of my change of self-image. And yeah, so that's
Wow.
forgiveness and great gratitude. I start to feel grateful for my mother, because every person in our life is for a purpose in our life. I
Mhm.
believe that strongly. And my mother, I needed to have her in my life for a reason.
Wow.
So it's important. Forgiveness, gratitude, and focus on your goal. That's very, very.
That's truly empowering. And that actually is constitutes one of the main things I do on a daily routine basis. I would write down 10 things I'm grateful for every morning. I would sit down in silence, try to meditate, and ask the universe for guidance. And I would send love to a few people that I think are bothering me. Just send love and send good energy away, and the good energy will come back to me.
Always,
Always.
always.
I
Yeah,
love that. I
yeah.
love that.
It's,
So, how can we find you, Liz? Do you organize events? Do you work online? How can we connect with you?
yeah, I organize events. Now the next event I will have is in Swedish, 3 days course. Because I used to have it in English, but now the next event. So I announce it always. I have a website. I don't
Mhm.
know if we put the links in.
I will put all your links in the
Yeah.
description of the episode.
So I have a website. I am on LinkedIn. I am on YouTube. I want to raise my audience on YouTube, so I will be
Okay.
happy if you subscribe to me there. I have been there for quite a long time and put in things, but I have not worked
Mhm.
focused on YouTube, but now I will do that. So,
Wow.
and I'm also on TikTok, and I start to declutter a little because I feel you can't be focused and wholehearted in everywhere. You have to focus on some. So
That's wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I really, really enjoyed our conversation today, Lis. It was really a pleasure to have you as my guest speaker in this episode of the Success Catalyst. So I thank you very much, and I look forward to our next conversation. In the meantime, thank you everyone who's listening to us, and goodbye.
Thank you so much, Nina, and goodbye.